episode of Bright Box Files. Today, we're presenting Santex Pulse, our global framework used to develop talent, measure impact, and build a sustainable ecosystem across 100 cities and 18 countries. It's great to be here talking about this. I really wanted this day to come so we could open up and share this material with our community. Right at the beginning, there's something important I want to make clear. This is not a traditional sustainability report. A traditional report looks backwards, but we prefer to focus on the road ahead. This is Santex's actual operating framework made public for the first time in our 26-year history. In a context where technology is advancing fast, we decided to literally open up our kitchen. We're showing how we manage talent, how we measure our real impact, and how we apply human judgment to every single technical decision. And I truly believe what makes STX Pulse unique in the region is its radical honesty. We are not here to publish only the things that went well. We're also showing what we still need to work on. This is a living document with real commitments, clear dates, responsible owners, and public metrics. If we commit in front of everyone, we cannot turn back in silence. It's real accountability and a guide on how to scale technology without losing our humanity. This is something very rare today, isn't it? For us, sharing STX Pulse serves a very clear purpose. We want to raise the bar for the industry, inspire other organizations to be just as transparent, and promote human judgment. In other words, we want to focus on why we use technology rather than just talking about the latest tool on the market. We want to strengthen our ecosystem and prove that from the Global South, we're setting trends on how to lead purpose-driven technology companies. For those of you listening who want to follow them up on what we're going to discuss today with the document in hand, you can download it completely free and in full detail right now at sustainability.santexgroup.com. I highly recommend you download it. Get your copy because today we're going on a journey through each chapter and the data inside is absolutely worth it. Okay, so let's start the journey by diving right into chapter 1, which is called The Origin. A quote from Juan Santiago at the very beginning really caught my attention. There's no digital progress that is not, at its core, human progress. That has been our North Star since day one. For 26 years, we've held on to the exact same philosophy. Technology does not drive us. We drive technology. As human beings, it is our duty to decide what technology is for. That's why we formally define ourselves as technology and human integrators. We combine technical innovation with a real understanding of people. If that empathy or judgment is missing, any development loses its positive impact. It's incredible to look back and see where that vision has taken us. We started in San Diego back in 1999, established our headquarters in Córdoba, Argentina, and today our scale is global. We operate in 18 countries and more than 100 cities, maintaining a net promoted score of 86, which is excellent for this sector. But the best part is seeing how that scale turned into an ecosystem that creates real belonging. In 2022, we created the Technology with Purpose Foundation, and in 2023, we launched AI League for Good, a movement dedicated to building ethical and responsible AI. Our 164% growth over 3 years landed us on the Inc. 5000 list in the United States, an achievement that came alongside milestones like reaching carbon neutrality through carbon offsetting. But here is where that honesty comes in. Operationally, we do not generate emissions. What we do is offset 100% of our footprint plus an extra margin, achieving a net negative balance from an accounting perspective. But offsetting is just the starting point. Our real goal is reducing emissions at the source, year after year. Okay, so moving on now to chapter 2, the model. I find it fascinating how we approach AI. Right now, the industry seems split into two. Those who automate everything to cut costs and reduce teams, and those who ignore the shift entirely out of fear. We choose a third path, the hybrid model. It is a system where human talent and artificial intelligence work in layers, empowering each other. The core premise is simple. We want people to deliver more value, not less. If a task that used to take 8 hours can now be solved in 1 hour thanks to AI, those 7 freed up hours are not a threat to your job. They're an opportunity to connect with your human differentiator. While others are reducing teams, we're looking to add talent that can guide AI with empathy and long-term vision. According to the World Economic Forum, technological transformation will create 170 million new jobs by 2030. The opportunity is there, but we have to invest in judgment, not just automation. And for that to work, training has to be real. Last year, we delivered more than 9,369 hours of training. That averages out to 29 hours per team member, which is double the global industry average. That's how we achieve a 92% reach in our AI reskilling program. Yes, and the way we roll this out is very interesting. We did an internal diagnosis because we know not everyone is in the same situation when it comes to technology. We identified 4 clear profiles: observers, explorers, experts, and change makers. Once we understood how each group uses AI, we designed different learning paths. It wasn't forced from the top down. People joined because they saw real value for their careers. Then we put it into practice with the Santex hackathon. More than 75% of the company participated voluntarily, generating 35 real-world AI solutions for problems in logistics, agriculture, and even for booking paddle tennis courts. Learning by doing. There's no other way. Another key tool detailed in this chapter is the impact score. Performance metrics in technology are often misunderstood, but this is not a tool to watch people. It's a mirror to empower them. It's a proprietary platform that cross-references code data, client feedback, and delivery results to evaluate technical contributions in an integral way. It doesn't just look at what you deliver, but how you deliver it and the value it creates. It even detects problematic code before it breaks, working as a prevention tool. It gives our team clear direction on how to keep growing with specific learning recommendations. It gives clients total transparency, and it helps us spot emerging talent. This goes hand in hand with leadership. That's why years ago we launched the Santex Leads program, which trains our leaders across 4 parallel dimensions: people, culture, delivery, and growth. And the impact on our culture is clear. Our turnover rate sits at just 8%, well below the industry average, and we maintain an average annual engagement score of 80.4%. To put that into perspective, Gallup reports that the global engagement average is 21%. We are well ahead of the global best practices. Those engagement numbers make perfect sense when you see the rest of this chapter, because the Santex model does not work if our talent is not well taken care of. I was surprised by the honesty with which mental health is addressed in this document. Let's talk about how we monitor this on the day-to-day. That's where Santex Mood comes in. Every day, our internal bot checks in on how everyone is feeling. If someone reports that they're not doing well, the response is not an automated message. A real person from the culture team picks up the phone and offers support. Twice a year, we also run the health check, a deep self-reflection on sleep, nutrition, and anxiety. 88% of our team participated, and 79% reported that they value our culture above everything else. But the radical honesty stats was that 27% reported feeling anxiety at some point during the day. Instead of hiding that, we created wellness toolkits and ran specific workshops on anxiety management, personal finance, and neurodiversity. In fact, 13.1% of the organization started processes for diagnosis or support for neurodiversity with the company's help. This is what putting humans at the center looks like with real facts. It's just like our Nido or Nest program, which supports the first year of parenting with childcare spaces inside the office. We were pioneers in introducing this to Córdoba back in 2018, And now we have expanded it to our Buenos Aires office. If we don't take care of the family environment, the team member cannot work with peace of mind. And that same transparency is visible in the diversity, equity, and inclusion section. In fact, one of the most interesting insights in the report is that 51.9% of our team members stated that they learned or changed something concrete after participating in our diversity and awareness initiatives. Almost half did not report change, and we published that too, because the 51.9% who did experience a shift proves that when diversity and inclusion training is well designed, it creates a real impact on people. This commitment pushed us to ask a new question. How do we measure the impact of everyday workplace habits? To figure it out, we asked for help from those who know more than us. Together with researchers from the York University and the Universidad Nacional de Córdoba, we are measuring what happens in daily team meetings, in code reviews, and during difficult conversations with clients. Everyday interactions are where culture is built or destroyed, and they are rarely documented. When we have results, we will publish them. And the toolkit from this research is not going to be just for Santex. The idea is that any tech team can use it. Let's turn now to Chapter 3, the footprint. For a long time, digital technology was thought to be intangible and clean. But the reality is that cloud infrastructure and servers consume massive amounts of energy. How do we measure ourselves against international standards? We approach this challenge with a lot of humility. In 2025, our total footprint was 112.56 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, marking a 26.5% reduction from the previous year. When you break it down, 94% of those emissions are indirect emissions from our value chain, third-party servers, cloud services, and our team's devices in hybrid work setups. And here's the radical honesty. We're far from being able to directly control what global infrastructure giants do. It's beyond our reach. So, instead of demanding changes externally, we're focusing on what is in our hands to solve. Efficiency and change have to start at home. How do we build that into our technical design? By recognizing that efficiency starts with every single line of code. We work day by day to ensure our solutions do not consume unnecessary energy on servers. With that responsibility in mind, this year we're beginning to analyze the energy impact and water use indicators of cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. The goal is to be able to recommend and migrate workloads to regions with cleaner, more renewable energy grids. Along the way, we've partnered with the SABO study to co-design a digital footprint monitoring system compatible with international standards. Our goal is not to keep this knowledge internal. It's to offer a tool that actively helps our clients optimize their infrastructure in the cloud and reduce costs. It's about moving from words to concrete technical action. And that same drive for impact connects us directly with Chapter 4, the connection, where we share how we engage with our ecosystem. Because we understand that Santex is part of something larger. We're not just an organization that provides technical services, but a living platform defined by interdependencies and clear responsibilities. The human judgment we defend inside means nothing if we don't communicate it outwards. That's why we impact on 3 clear dimensions. The first is being where the future defines you. For Latin America to achieve data sovereignty, we have to be present where the rules are written. That's why we took part in over 20 critical spaces this year, from the National Congress and the OAS to international forums and universities like Duke, Washington, and Thunderbird. The second is opening the conversation to raise judgment, like in our podcast, Game Changing Talks. Here, we bring powerful voices like Milagros Miceli, a researcher recognized by Times Magazine who challenged us by talking about the invisible minds and bodies that sustain AI in precarious conditions. Having those debates keeps us from standing still. And what is the third dimension, you ask? Building capacity where it does not exist today. Because if we only train those who already have access, AI will only amplify inequalities. Our work starts where the market ends. That's where our real-world impact cases come in. like Legalia, with the Córdoba Bar Association, an AI copilot with structural privacy that automates complex tasks and gives professionals up to 14 hours of time back, or the platform we built for the agricultural sector to ensure compliance with European Union non-deforestation laws, and even Harvey, the system we got assigned with the Harvard's Innovation Lab to centralize medical records in real time for families managing chronic childhood illnesses. As you can see, we don't create technology in a vacuum. Through our Technology with Purpose Foundation, which we self-fund by 66%, we reached 15,534 people with free workshops and brought more than 700 people into the IT sector with X Academy. Additionally, we co-funded the AI League for Good movement to promote ethical AI from the Global South, training private sector leaders and more than 800 public officials leaving free and open tools on the web like the Ethical AI Assessment to diagnose ethical risks in AI systems and the blueprint to analyze how the region is legislating the matter. The judgment we defend inside only makes sense if it helps the community have more tools to decide. And that connects us directly with Chapter 5, The Future, which lays out clear objectives for 2026 looking towards 2030. Let's look at the core commitments we are making. The first is under the people pillar. In 2026, we're committed to transforming traditional job descriptions into growth paths that explicitly articulate human skills like critical thinking, empathy, and effective interaction with AI. Our goal is for 100% of our team to have an active plan by 2030. Additionally, within our mental health program, we're going to measure and report an emerging phenomenon, AI brain fry, the cognitive overload accelerated by intensive AI use. We want to help build a global metric for this because it does not exist today. This is very necessary. Under the environmental pillar, our biggest milestone for 2026 is the screening system we're developing with Seibo across 3 pilot projects. This will integrate the Green Software Foundation's software carbon intensity standards, allowing us to write efficient code and optimize cloud usage. Finally, under AI governance, we will publish our internal AI use policy in 2026 and establish a governance committee with real veto power to pause projects if they do not clear our ethical assessment. We are looking for proactive compliance with the European Union AI Act, as well as regulations in Argentina and the United States. For us, operating across 18 countries with this level of compliance is a massive competitive advantage. What an incredible note to finish this on. It shows that STX Pulse is our way of proving that a different way of building technology is possible. There's a reason why our tagline is, "Yes, it's possible." We believe in inclusive technology guided by judgment where people always remain at the center. That is why I want to invite everyone leading teams, working in tech, or managing organizations outside the sector to download the full framework for free at sustainability.santexgroup.com. Take a look inside our kitchen, apply whatever works for you, and let us know how it goes. And let's build a future that is more than just competitive. Let's make it shared advantage. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and see you on the next episode of Bright Box Files.